All right, good afternoon, everybody. Let me make sure my audio levels aren't too loud and stuff like that. We're going to be continuing with the photo editing that we started the other day. Everything seems to be sounding good, so let's start doing some editing here. Let me make sure Bridge is open. A second here. Fuck, I don't got Bridge open. Okay, there we go. Right. We were working on doing some of the commercial photo editing of the hotel that we shot up in Estes Park. Here we did like 4 units. We're just doing a couple interior shots. Let me get to our raw files here. Need a second to load this. Okay, let's see where we left off. It looks like we did those 4 or 5 shots so far. Look at our PSBs that we did, get a refresher. Bathroom. And it looks like we did that reverse angle, we just didn't mark it. Okay. Might skip doing that. Did that, did that, did that. Okay, this is a different room. Let's load our layers up into Photoshop here. It looks like I had to reinstall Photoshop because it's not showing my plugin menu. Let me activate that here. We're going to use Raya Pro to blend our stuff. Okay, let's start off by aligning our layers just in case we had any movement between any of our frames. And we're going to start with our bright layer here. And we're going to blend our dark layer into it. I'm just going to brighten each one of these up. That way they'll blend a little bit easier when we do our hard window pulls. Okay, let's start with our bright information here. I'm going to do a layer mask on this here. Okay. Start by just blending my windowsill in there, and actually I need to bring my opacity up to 100%. Okay. I'm going to come into camera raw here. And to make this blend even more seamlessly, we're going to pull down our highlights, bring up our shadows, because that information is going to be affected. Okay. And on this one, I think I'm going to go with the darker window on it. let's go ahead and let's start filling in our window there. Grab our selection tool. We're just going to do a rough selection that we can clean up. And that looks like it selected the whole window there, so let's layer mask that. We're going to have some burn edges for the moment here, but we'll clean those up. Let's have it go through and select our burn edge there that we want to clean up. And we're just going to paint that out. Where flows only at I'll bring that up. We're going to do that again on this burn edge here. And now I'm going to go into camera raw here. We're going to do some raw adjustments to our window pull to get an even more seamless blend out of it. Maybe even bring up our exposure halfway, just because it's probably about 3 to 4 stops underexposed. And that's probably good there. And now I'm just going to go around my window edge and just clean up any other burn edges that I kind of see that kind of stand out to me. And what we'll also do this as well, we'll give it a little bit of some feather. Got 2 point something pixels. It looks like we missed a little bit there, so we're going to paint this in. Maybe clean up our edge a little bit here. And I think we'll go in, we'll do a little bit of chromatic aberration adjustment in the magentas. Pull that down a little bit. And that should clean up some of that magenta edging from our blend there. I think I might even paint a little bit more of this in, just because I know that our flow was on a lower percentage when we originally did this. Oops. Yeah, that's the wrong layer. It might have been good before. We'll just leave it the way it was. Merge these together. Okay, now I'm going to give it some more contrast since we did blend everything together. And let's push our exposure a little bit until our midtones kind of start to glow on our interior. Okay, let's push our shadows a little bit. Okay, let's push our blacks. Push our whites a little bit. Okay, now let's come in and pull down on our highlights. Till that peak on the right there kind of goes away on our Instagram. Okay, give it some sharpening. And it looks like we got 2 viewers on Twitch here. Thanks for joining the stream here. We're just doing some architectural photo editing. Feel free to write in the chat here if you're watching on Twitch. We're also streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Maybe I'll pull down my oranges a little bit. Push my oranges a little bit more towards the yellow and the hue. Just because I don't remember them being that yellow, or that orange, I mean. Red's towards the orange maybe a little bit. Yellow's a little bit more towards our yellow. Decrease our saturation of our yellows a little bit. Our oranges a little bit. Our reds a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to do a hue saturate just for our whites. So what we'll start with is our ceiling here. So we have some mixed light in this room and it's making our whites not white. And we're going to paint out the saturation of our ceiling there. And now we're just going to go into our image. We're going to find other things that are white in it. And we're going to make them whiter. Do this by just picking colors. It's like that has a lot of mixed stuff in it. That's some of it. Hit our lamp there. Get our pillows, get our bed sheets white like they are. And I think I'll make a selection around our door there. Paint that out, make that more white. Take that out. Okay. Maybe a little bit around our windowsill here. We're just going to do this kind of rough. And because we got a window layer, I'm going to click that window layer. Make sure we didn't accidentally desaturate inside of our windows there. Paint that out. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I want to clean up there. we're going to set this to 79%. And then I'm going to do a brightness on the white part of our image. I'll make it whiter just by adding a little bit of brightness to it. Okay. Let's do another hue saturate. This one, we're just going to do the saturation on it. And we're just going to paint out any unwanted colors that we don't want. I think what we'll probably do on this is we'll use it for the kind of like blue of our carpet, because our carpet has a blue tone. It's just not like super, super blue. More of like a gray blue. And we're just going to use this to clean up our black areas. Just watch how it cleans up our carpet. Sure we're not hitting anything on this wall here. Hit some of this blue right here near this curtain. If it'll recognizes it. I cleaned that up nicely. And I think we probably merge these layers. And I'm going to dupe this layer. And we're going to use this layer to remove any unwanted color that I see. So let's see here. Let's use our saturation. We're going to pull out some orange yellows. Like some reds in here that we don't want.
Hello? What happened? Where am I?
We got
Yet?
like we got some aquas in here that we might not want. Some magenta in there. Keep going until we get pretty clean looking colors. Blue magenta. Probably on this, I'll probably dodge the blue. Come back to it on another layer. Okay. Then I'm just going to come in with 100% flow, and we're just going to work on painting out some of that unwanted color. But it starts to look a little bit cleaner. Thank you. I can't tell if that did anything. Yeah, I think it looks. Go around, start painting around our furniture, bringing some of that color back. And then this one, let's just pull out our blue tones that are kind of too obnoxious. Pretty sure these wall tones are kind of like a blue-gray. Okay, let's see here. So cleaning up our walls a little bit more. Go like 79% on that. Bring back a little bit of the color. Same thing on that one.
Come here, it's it. Come here.
Maybe do like one more hue saturate. And I'm going to use this one to kind of go after specific color ranges that are kind of funky. Whatever this kind of like pink is here. Turn our flow up to 100% on that. Painting some of that away. I'm going to select our lamp again. Bring back the color in that. Paint a lot of that back in. You can still have a little bit of color, you just don't want to be like too crazy with it. Up that to like 79%. And I'm just gonna hit this area. That's much better. more of a gray wall. This is more of like gray blue. Okay. I'm gonna go back into camera raw here. Let's do some straightening. Bring up our scale just a little bit on our image. Maybe bring back a little bit of vibrance in this image since we desaturated. Maybe just a little bit more exposure. A little bit more on our highlights down. And I think I'm happy with that. Find distraction. Let's try this. I just saw this. Let's have it find wires and remove wires. I'm interested to see how this works. Nice. I didn't even have to select that. That was pretty neat, actually. I'm cool with that one. Think there's any other tones I need to pull out. Oh, blue magenta is still in there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Take that one out. Okay. Well, that's saving out. Come over to this image. And this is the reverse angle of the one that we just took. Let's load these layers up. Give that a second to load up there. Open instant mask. We'll have it align my layer there. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to give each one of these like an exposure boost. And let's go into our window pool here to start off. And let's just boost our shadows and our blacks. Give it a little bit of an exposure boost as well. Pull down on the highlights. okay on that. Okay, so we're going to start here. Let's select our brights. I'm going to put a layer mask on this. And I'm just going to selectively paint in my window there. The way it makes it easier for us to paint in our window pull when we do our window pull. Yeah, it looks like I need to hit the bed with a lot less, maybe like even less than that, maybe 25%. So just bring back just a little bit of detail. Like that. Yeah, I probably need to redo that. And do that. Paint. Okay. Be a little bit carefuler with our windows. Actually, I'm gonna go in and modify my selection just a little bit. That way we're not hitting this bed, so we can treat this bed differently. Alright, go in and hit. Okay, now let's try doing our painting again. This will just make it so it's easier to do our window pull. Let's do that at 100%. We select our selection. There we go. Now let's go back to this selection. And I'm just going to hit the bed with like 25% of this, just because it doesn't need a ton of detail brought back on the bed, just a little bit. And maybe just really hit our lamp here. And everything else we're going to hit at 100. Okay. Now let's come in and do our window pull. That looks pretty clean to me. Let's layer in our window pull. Look at the bottom of this. Maybe feather that by 2.5 pixels. It doesn't look like we got a whole lot of burn edging. Just a little bit of cleanup on that. And we possibly could get this better just by going in and having it select this object here. I'm going to try painting that out. See if that makes it cleaner. Which it should. We could probably get away with it. Push our exposure maybe a little bit more. And that's looking pretty good to me. Let's merge these. And some contrast. Push our mid-tone until they kind of start to glow a little bit. We're just going to ignore highlights for the time being. Maybe push our shadows a little bit. Push our blacks. Push our whites a little bit. And now I'm just going to pull down on my highlights until that peak kind of starts to go away and that bed shows the right amount of detail that I want to see in it. Do a little bit of color mixer stuff. The orange, the yellow. You got any green? No, just blue. Make our push our orange towards our yellow more. Our orange. Yellow's more towards our yellow. A little bit of sharpening. Okay. Come in, select our whites, get that stuff cleaned up. Okay, white. It looks like it's going to do a good job getting a lot of our trim here. And this is going to hit some of our window, but we'll go in and fix it. Have it select our door. Selection there. Okay, we're gonna paint all that white. go in. We're gonna draw a line on our ceiling here. Try to get this as clean as possible. And we're just gonna go in and paint our ceiling white. That looks pretty clean to me. Go 79% on that. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to have it go in, select our window frame, and we're just going to paint on this layer, make sure we're not desaturating any of our window frame there. Okay. Do brightness on our bed and our whites and stuff. This will make them even whiter. Okay, now let's do a hue saturate on things that are not white. Do our blue stuff on our carpet and stuff like that. Hide that. We're just going to paint here. Here we're not hitting our wall. We'll deal with that separately. More of like a gray blue, but we want to control that more. Okay, now merge all these together. Okay, this is going to be a desaturate layer. And I'm just going to go in and grab tones that I just don't like in my image. Some magentas. So it's kind of like more of like a gray blue. Little aqua there. Our orange yellows a little bit. That looks pretty controlled there. We're just gonna paint out our stuff here. Really control our tones here in our image. I have to go back and clean up our curtain there. And we'll make sure we hit our window layer. Make sure we're not hitting our window there. Select our curtain. Paint back in our anything that might have hit our curtain there, because we don't want to desaturate any of that color. Okay. I think that's looking pretty clean to me. Merge all these together. Go into camera raw one more time. Maybe just pull down our highlights just a little bit more. Bring back some more detail in that bed. Do some straightening on this image. Get the scale just a little bit. Go into the color mixer one more time. Maybe just see what's in our ceiling hiding anywhere. Maybe just a little orange, yellow. Kill a little bit of blue. Give back a little bit of vibrance to the image since we did pull out some color. Yeah, we're gonna call it good there on that one. And we just got a little bit of cleanup here. Have it remove that trash can. And that looks good to me. I'm gonna save that out as number 8. Do the bathroom here. That looks like it'll be quick. Just like 2 photos on that one. Okay. Have to line the layers here. Let's select our brights. Let it layer all that in. And I'm gonna have it bring down the highlight information a little bit on this file here. And bring up the shadows and blacks so it blends a little bit easier. There we go, that looks like a fuller image. Merge these together. And this one doesn't really have a lot of like colors standing in it. We can check to see what color we got. It has kind of like a warmer tone to it. But first off, what I'm gonna do, let's give it some contrast. And then I'm gonna push our exposure until our mid-tones start to glow a little bit. Let me push up the shadows just a little bit. Push the blacks just a little bit. Push the whites a little bit. And then we're just going to pull down on our highlights here until we get the amount of information that we want. That don't look too bad in that towel there. Maybe give it a little bit of sharpness too. Let's do our whitening, and we're gonna have it pick this color here. And I'm just gonna have it clean up that color range. Alright. And I'm gonna have it select my ceiling here. Go and clean that up. We might go like 50% on this. Or 79%. I still want it to have kind of that warm feel to it. It's not as much as it had before. Go like 50%. Okay, I'm gonna have it brighten that. Then I'm gonna have it merge the layers here. I think all I'm gonna do here is pull down on my highlights. Until I get the amount of information I want. Push up our shadows a little bit more. Do some straightening. And I think we're going to call that a good image. We'll save that out real quick. Let's do window pull, I think, on that. Two. Get this one real quick. This should be easy. Align our layers here. Do our brights. Select everything there. Okay, let's bring this up by a stop so it blends better. Bring this up by a stop. Bring this up by a stop. Bring down the highlights on that. Get our shadows and our blacks. Okay. Let's do a straight window pull. Let's do our window pull. Just do this real rough. Another rough window pull there. Okay, we'll get this out of there as well. Okay, let's do our window pull. It looks like we still got a little bit of cleanup there.
Rosie? What are you getting? We're not doing the TV until everybody's done. The rule, go eat. Why? It's not supposed to count. That's against principles.
Go in and clean up some of our burn edging a little bit around their edges. Do like 2.5 on our feathering. Push the exposure a little bit more. Shadows. Push the blacks. Pull down our highlights. There we go, that's not bad. Merge these as layers. Get some contrast. Push until our midtones start to glow a little bit. Little shadows, little blacks. Pull down our highlights at 1. Do a little bit of sharpening on the image. Have it select some white. Anything in this white tone, we'll paint out white. select our windows, paint back in, saturation that we might pull away. Go like 79%. Brighten and whiten this stuff. We'll merge our layers here. I'm gonna do this. Let's go and remove, make this wall more of a blue-gray. Pull out any unwanted color I don't want here. Put a little yellow in there. Okay. I'm gonna layer mask that. Bring my flow to like 10%. And I'm just gonna selectively paint this in. Clean up our color a little bit. More unified. Drop that to like 79%. Do our final touches on and really they had me do this shot more for like the view. Do some straightening. So we're gonna do some horizontal straightening and the vertical straightening. Bring up our scale a little bit. We start with the vertical straightening first, and then after that have it horizontally straighten it. Gets it straight. Maybe give that a little bit more vibrance and color since we pulled out some color. Take that out. Save that out real quick. Close that. Let's take a look at what we got left to do.
The very last fight right here, you be my favoriteest little boy in the whole world. My favoriteest little boy. You boy? And if we did that, we could do something really fun tonight. Super fun. Oh, wow. And then we could do this time. We could play artistry.
Finish that. One. All right, I'm gonna take a break here and go eat something and go get something to drink, but we'll come back to stream here in a little while.